What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Street Fighter Duel video. And guys, we're on the free-to-play side of things, and I want to talk about two things in this video. We're going to do the free-to-play side, and I'm going to talk about a specific unit and what the best way to utilize him in terms of his assist to get the maximum damage output you possibly can. Okay, so first thing I want to point out in this one here is that I'm going to be focusing on the free-to-play side of things for the Dante event and the bosses and the teams I've been using to maximize. Now, keep in mind, a lot of free-to-play players do use mercenaries. I am not using any mercenaries, so my numbers are true to what my characters can do, not to what a mercenary can offer. As you guys can see here, no mercenaries as usual, okay? Not to say that you shouldn't be using mercenaries to maximize your damage. You absolutely should, but I want to show you guys if you have these units, where they can take you and what you can do with them. So, Devil Invasion. Let's talk about the modules real quick, okay, that I have. So here you go, 22, 21, 20, 22, and 20. Okay, so these here are the modules I'm using. This is the Attack Core A, level 22, Wind Core A, Flame Core A, Tech Core A, and then Assassin Core A. Now, the reason why I'm using these specifically is because I'm feeding Cammy and Sea Viper for mass DPS, including the stats and the bonuses. Now, keep in mind, the Core A portion, the Type A portion, is going to be the attack version. The B portion is more the survival version. Do not use the Bs at all. Okay, just want to point that out because you need to maximize your damage. So let's look at the team and where I'm at right now. Okay, so again, keep in mind, guys, I am absolutely free to play. Okay, there is no money spent here. I showed you that, and there's no mercenaries being used. More importantly, okay, so these are the multipliers I'm using for each battle. 294. Okay, so they're all the same. And I'll show you the leaderboard real quick here. I'm 24th in my cluster, which is really, really good for a complete free-to-play. On the server rank, I'm actually number 1. I'm actually beating out the whales. Okay? I'll show you guys how I'm doing that. On the Dante Demon side, I'm number 33 and number 3. So top 3. I'm just a little bit shy here. That's a little RNG. I think I can get to number 1 though as well. Okay? And then M. Bison here, I'm 42, still top 50. And then here, I'm number 3 as well, okay? So this one here takes a little bit more effort, and I'll explain to you guys why real quick, okay? But before I do anything, let's talk about what I'm using as a team, okay? So you guys saw the debuffs here. The point multipliers I'm using is going to be the boss combo gauge, the 100% healing received, reducing that, resistance, complete reduction there, damage dealt by the back fighters by 80%, reduction, that's there. If unleashed immediately after the first kill, the secondary skill of the fighter reduced by 60%. That's not a problem. And then, of course, I have the reduced fire, electric, and soul damage. And then I have unleash 1 ultra. Can deploy 2 of the same units at the same time. And deploy Dante. Now let's talk about my actual formation and why I set it up the way I did, okay? Here's the trick to this one. If you don't have Dante, you can't use this one, unfortunately, okay? So this one will be a removal for you. But I use almost an all-female team outside of Dante, and I guess Street Poison because she's not considered a female. If you click here, here's my setup, okay? I have Cammy doing all the damage. She is the boss killer, right? So for free-to-play, she's going to be your go-to if you don't have Fashion Blanka. And Fashion Blanka is the unit I'm going to talk about next after all this is done, okay, on the second part of the video. With her, you want to use Dalsim. If you have... I guess Adon would be a decent choice as well, too, if you have him. Mad Ryu here is actually a really bad option, only because with Lifesteal, as a lot of the mods have, you're not going to really lose HP below 20% ever, and you're not going to need it. Chun-Li is a really good addition up here if you can get her to SS for the extra crit. Highly recommend doing that as well, too. And, of course, if you can get Bison to SSS, some free-to-play have him. He's actually a really good option there as well, too. And then Street Poison is going to be your buffer. Now, having her in the third row is absolutely critical to this role because the third row back unit actually reduces their damage by 60%, but because she's not doing any damage, it makes it easy. And then put Dante in the tag section. He's not going to do anything in this fight. He's just there for the multiplier, okay? Now, ideally with this setup, you can also put in B-Zang up here for Elena. I put Elena in there for healing. Don't need it. It was just to test something out. Was not required whatsoever. So B-Zang here for the initial speed burst and like a couple of hits of combo is okay. It's really not worth it. But Chun-Li would be an incredible asset right up to this section. Also, if you guys have the ability to get like Decapre isn't bad here as well too because she does a lot of damage every 20 seconds coming in. Although she's not the greatest, she's still not bad. And that would probably be the best 2-3 options for Sea Viper. Just trying to think if there's anyone else here that I would put in here that's a free-to-play unit, that is, right? I'm only thinking free-to-play. So try this out, and let's see what you get here for numbers, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do this, and I'll kind of show you guys. Now, there is some RNG involved with this fight, So keep that in mind. Cammy is going to be your go-to damage dealer for this, not C Viper. So you want to get yourself the C1 and C3 with her specifically. See that stun there? That screwed us over, okay? That stun caused her to stop her C3, which is her main damage dealing move right there. So when that stun happens, that RNG is going to affect you heavily. So you may have to restart this whole thing. Okay, sorry, let me do full screen, guys. There you go. So I just want to show you guys this team here real quick. So if you have these characters already on the go, highly recommend using this setup. Cammy does so much damage. Another good viable option, of course, here is having Guile instead. But the problem is with Guile is he sits in the third row, so that minus 60% debuff for damage is going to affect him because he's a ranged unit. In this case, with Poison being back there, it doesn't do anything, right? She just does buffs, so it doesn't affect her in any way, shape, or form. So that was the bad RNG. So you can see here, but that's the highest score right there. That RNG is always going to occur with the stuns. He stunned, I think, 3 of my combos, and that's a massive amount of damage loss right there. But this team here is going to be the team you want to go with as a free-to-play if you don't have Fashion Blanka. So as I mentioned before, RNG will take into effect, and all of these multipliers here, let's just try this one for fun again and see what we get out of it, okay? I'm going to put, yeah, no, you know what? This is fine. I need the extra speed. Another good option here is if you had Fei Long as an assist, you can put him there for the extra fire damage from the fire carpet, but really it's not necessary until you have Fashion Blanka. And Fashion Blanka, Fei Long, and Dalsim are 2 of the best assists. And I'm going to talk about that in the next part of the video for Fashion Blanka specifically, because to maximize his damage, his assists are going to matter the most. Now there's one assist that's going to outshine every other assist, and unfortunately that assist is a pay-to-win assist, but I still want to talk about it because if you have her, you want to 100% use her with addition to another character to maximize all of Fashion Blanka's damage dealing moves and to get the best scores here, period, okay? So let me get through this one here and we'll see what we get for a score, and then I'll show you guys the Fashion Blanka side of things and what you want to focus on if you just got him, and what assists you want to use on him and how you want to tackle the whole event with him, okay? So there you go, close enough. I mean, we're getting there. But you guys can see that team there actually does fairly well. So again, 34 for that one, 24 for this one, 34, and 46. So still top 50. Server ranks, I'm still top 3 to number 1. Maybe I'm not, yeah, I'm still number 1 there. So there you go. Give it a try. Try this team out if you're struggling and go from there. Now, what I want to do next is talk a little bit about the Fashion Blanka side of things and why he's the best damage dealer for this entire fight, right? And that's been pretty much the ebb and flow with Fashion Blanka since he's been out. He's been one of the best damage dealing units in the game for bosses, for PvE, you name it. For PvP, it doesn't really matter. He just does it all. One thing though I do want to point out is the fact that in order to use him at his full potential, his actual assist matters so much, okay? So I want you guys to note that while we're doing this. I'm just going to quickly level that up, get this one up. No, actually, I don't have enough of that one. There we go. Okay, so let's look at the leaderboards real quick. Now, I'm going to show you guys why this is going to be tough, okay? For me specifically, say I'm 17, 5, and 2, okay? Fashion Blanka essentially is my go-to damage dealer. So my moves, this is my team here, okay? So my multiplier is a 320%. I pretty much have everything intact here. Dante, Bison, and I'll do this for you guys just so you guys kind of get an idea of how it works. Here's the problem. Fei Long 100% needs to be there as an assist for Fashion Blanka, especially on Bison, because Fei Long, if the unit that has him dies, the 12% flame extra damage doesn't apply anymore. So you need to have Fei Long on Bison because Bison just doesn't die until the end. So that's the maximum damage output for that unit right there for assist. Dalsim is a great assist unit for Blanka because of the flame damage that he does, plus the Fei Long damage that helps, and also applies burn. But on top of that, you can use C Viper. Now, the best, hands down assist, and I don't have this assist because I'm free to play going forward, right? Is going to be right there. Not Fashion Blanka, sorry. Flame Chun-Li. The reason why Flame Chun-Li is so important is every time you do a crit, she applies flame vulnerability. On top of the fact that you're already getting buff from Fei Long, that flame vulnerability is even stronger, and then all the damage that Blanka does is just multiplied, okay? So extremely powerful, the best. And I said this when I did the video on her, when I did the showcase on her trial, I said she's going to be Fashion Blanka's best assist in the game, and I was proven right. Everyone that's using her is top-notch in scores right now, and is killing it. So absolutely the best unit to use for that. So if you have her, use her. Fashion Blanka will be 10 times better with that buff, okay? But let's just go ahead and try this out. I'll show you guys the setup here. So Dante's here just to die. These two are here, obviously, to do all the damage. MH Ken is not here for one reason, because I'm not using Cammy, and also I want the flame damage from Blanka. Now, keep in mind, if you decide to go the Sea Viper route here, then you want Cammy here for sure. And MH Ken would replace Bison in this case. Or you keep Bison here for the third combo. It's up to you instead of having two combos. Two combos works really well here as well too, but you can use the 3 combo with Bison and maximize your damage that way too. So if you did Cammy, or sorry, Sea Viper for Fashion Blanka, then you would want to do OG Cammy for Armor Break under Bright Bison, okay? But this is a full flame damage team right here, and I'll show you guys how this works, okay? So real quick, you guys can get an understanding. Now, again, if you have Flame Chun-Li, I'm not purchasing anymore. I'm not spending any more money because I'm trying to help you guys with addiction, right? So I need to preach what I say, or I need to practice what I preach. Sorry, is what I meant to say. So in my case, you're not going to see me topping the charts with Fashion Blanka anymore because realistically, that's just the name of the game, right? New units come out, they complement other units better, and what happens is you end up falling behind, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. This is not a life competition for me. It's a game. I do content, but I can always give you guys the best information either way because I know from the top of my head what the best information is going to be. And I said this from the day that she dropped as Flame Chun-Li, that she's going to be the best assist for Fashion Blanka, and I was absolutely right on that. Okay, so this was a bad run, a lot of bad RNG there. I died, as you can see there. That right there is like half the damage. If you don't die, obviously it's a whole different story, but I did all my chances here. That team right there is going to take you all the way now. I just want to point out what I mean. If you look at Spud, for example, shout out to Spud. He and I were like neck to neck, and then he decided to smarten up and use Flame Chun-Li, which I don't have, and Fei Long, and automatically you're just ahead of the game by having that, right? Server ranking, I'm number 1 there, obviously, so I'm not worried about that. Same with this Dante here. If you look at the leaderboard, Diaz is probably doing the same thing, Flame Chun-Li. This I would change, buddy. Put this as Fei Long. You'll 100% boost your damage up even more. But same thing with Spud here, right? Like, look, there you go. So everyone is doing the same thing. And rightfully so, because that unit right there is the best assist in the game for Fashion Blanka. So there you guys have it. I hope this helps you guys out. If you guys have the units, use them, utilize them. Make sure you put them into the right use, and you guys will maximize your scores very quickly. All right, guys, this is Payne. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you on the next one.